All right, so we're going to call on our first guest. Jackie Tohn is an actress, stand-up comic, musical comedian, singer-songwriter, plays Melrose on Netflix's Glow, which was one of my favorite shows. Glow was inspired by the real story of the 1980s female wrestling league. Jackie also plays Gilda Radner in director David Wayne's A Futile and Stupid Gesture. Her recent movies include Elsewhere, Chips, Bad Roomies, and Sisters. Jackie was a finalist on American Idol Season 8. She continues to tour the country, having played hundreds of shows, doing stand-up, playing music, and has starred in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Rules of Engagement, The Sopranos, House of Lies, Castle, The Nanny, when she was a kid, and many, many more. She's got a new show coming up on Netflix, which we're going to talk about. Jackie Tohn, everyone.
Hello, everybody. You mentioned stuff I forgot I did. Where did you pull that bio from?
That's my job, is to dig deep.
I was like, what movie?
Was any of that a lie?
No, nothing was wrong, but some of it was like, I barely remember.
Well, you've had too many Carolina Reaper peppers, maybe.
I have had too many. I've had too many, which would be for me one tongue touch because I can't. My mouth burns when I look at a pepper. I'm such a wuss.
All right, well, let's get into it. You made a splash on American Idol, both with your singing.
I thought you just said you made us laugh on American Idol, and I was like, that wasn't what I was going for. You made us laugh on American Idol.
I think you did make some people laugh.
It did, but
yeah. But it began to shine light on your personality and ability, and that's for certain. I mean, even when you're singing Elvis, you could see that. So, what was that experience like, and why did you do that?
Okay, listen. I was on board with the line of questioning until you reminded everybody that I sang an Elvis song. Now, I don't dislike Elvis. I know that he's a rock icon. I know that he changed the game. I'm not an anti-fan. I'm not an anti-fan, but I'm not like, I don't know an Elvis song if it punched me in the side of the head. But the show, I had like a laundry list of songs I wanted to do. I had like the songs of the time, Corinne Bailey Rae, and like You Got Me Begging You for Mercy. I had like Amy Winehouse and Duffy and Aerosmith and Carole King. And they didn't clear any of my songs. And they were like, we love your big personality. Taylor Hicks did really well with Little Less Conversation by Elvis. Do you want to listen to that? And they were like, the public will love it. That song does really well on the show. And they just sort of, they didn't make me do it, but they were like really like kind of putting it in sparkles like it would be this great idea. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I accept the challenge. And then it just was like one of the bigger career errors of my life.
Well, I've found it funny to watch you talk about it a few times where the people don't talk as much about your singing or how you related to the judges, but more about your pants.
Yeah, my pants were a big hit. And you know what's really weird about those pants? They were like black, shiny leggings. Like it's not like I was in like clown pants and then I turned around and the butt was like chicken feathers. It was like they were black high-waisted pants. And they were in like every magazine, Simon was like, what are you wearing? And I was like, bro, let's not have this conversation.
Right, absolutely. Well, singing is so important, and to your act, I've listened to it a few times. Deep Like, which is a hilarious video, and
pair hands.
So, besides acting, you also use music in your stand-up, and often do your material with a guitar. What's that choice about, and why have you gone that route? And what can people expect from your music?
Okay, well, I'm realizing now that I didn't answer your first question, which was like, why did I do American Idol? And so this is going to be a double answer and tie into the question you just asked. So I did American Idol because I've been acting since I was 9 and singing with my dad at the piano since I was really, really little, and started playing the guitar when I was like 20. And I've always sort of wanted to do both. And when I was coming up in this business, it was sort of shocking to me to learn how many people were like, well, what is it? Are you an actor that sings or a singer that acts? or are you I, I don't know. I've never been super confused by a person who'd like to do more than one thing, but apparently I'm alone in that clarity. Like it was this really wild, like all my agents would be like, well, I don't know how the singing, somebody's peeking their head in. I don't know how, like, how this, like when I did American Idol, my agent was like, they were going to drop me. And I was like, how would it, I guess I look at an overall career and I think that they'll help each other, right? If you're acting and you can sing, like they used my singing on Glow, and I'd like to be able to intertwine them. So I basically tried out for American Idol because I had been acting since I was 9, and I tried out for Idol in my like mid to late 20s. And I had been just in the game for so long, and I was like going on auditions, in elementary and middle and high school. And by the time I was in my mid 20s, I'd been acting for a decade. And I was like, I loved music. I wanted to make music. So I just tried out. And 108,000 people tried out that year, and I magically got on the show. So then to tie that into my musical comedy after American Idol, I've always been sort of doing all of it, and I'd always done stand up and music separately. Like I would do shows at the Improv, and then I would do music at like sing and play my guitar and have a band at like the Hotel Cafe. And believe it or not, someone had to suggest it to me. A friend was like, I just don't get why you don't do musical comedy. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think it's that funny. I don't like love it. Like I can't point to somebody I love that does it. And then, which of course that's so dumb and ignorant. I just didn't know. I wasn't really paying that much attention to like Flight of the Conchords and all of these.
Bob Saget.
But
Bob Saget plays guitar in his act.
He does.
Not all of it. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I've never seen Bob Saget do stand up. I've only heard about how filthy it is.
It's filthy, but he has a great song about Dave Coulier.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I feel like I should probably write a song about Dave Coulier. Anyway, so yeah, then when I just started doing musical comedy because it was just like a pretty obvious combination of my limited skill set. I have like 4 skills, and music and comedy are 2 of them.
Oh, awesome. And so it just comes naturally, like something you love and put these 2 passions together. It makes sense. And your other passion is wrestling, apparently.
Yeah, I'm pretty passionate about suplexes, boys, crucifixes, and the like. Yeah.
So let's dive into Glow, which was an amazing show. Actually, a lot of people know this about me generally, that I'm a big wrestling fan, but it was actually my wife who wanted to watch this show, and I said, of course, because I like the topic. And it was a great show. And I've heard you speak about this incredibly close cast, which from working with all these celebrities over the years, not all the casts are as they might publicly say that, but it seems like authentically your cast, your ensemble stays in touch and deeply cares about each other. What does that camaraderie mean to being on a show like that?
See, right before this in the tech check, I told you I was going to keep it light, and now you got to ask me about my love for my Glow girls. And it's almost impossible now that we got our wild, unprecedented renewal reversal. I don't even say canceled. Like,
is that breaking news on this show? Because I had not heard that, and that was one of my questions. I'm stoked about that news.
No, you're sad about it. We got canceled.
Oh, got canceled. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe you are stoked about it. I can't talk. I can't speak to your emotions. Maybe you're pumped. Glenn, I'm gonna put you down if you keep itching, bro. Okay, come on. Really confusing. And then I'm like, the whole camera shaking, like it's questionable what I'm up to. Like, Glenn, please. God, bro, you're going on the floor. You're ruining our interview. So, no, he's only enhancing always ever. But so Glow, we got picked up for a season 4. And then we started shooting. We shot 2 episodes of season 4. And then COVID struck, and in the middle of our shooting, we went on a break, and then we thought we were going to come back at the end of the year, and then January, and then May, and then they were like, we don't know how we can realistically put 15 of you in a wrestling ring together. And so then our pickup renewal, like our show, we just got shut down.
I saw Mark Maron talk about how he just wants to do at least the final.
I know, man. Like Um,
Who do we have to talk to make this happen?
I don't know. I mean, Ali Bree talks about it. Everybody talks about like at least let's just finish it out and make a movie. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea how to really do any of that. And I think because of COVID, like if it was normal times and this, well, if it was normal times, this wouldn't have happened. But had this happened in normal times, there could be a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe. But right now, there needs to be like a COVID officer on set and everybody needs to be in a bubble and temperatures taken. And I mean, the things that have to happen for a show to get made right now, even if we crowdfunded it, it's like, how do you, other shows are doing it. So it's not like it's impossible, but I can't speak to like how to actually make that happen.
I mean, if Punky Brewster is coming back, Glow can come back. I think
You
that's.
are preaching to the choir. Good man.
So let's talk about, so staying in touch. So you're very close with the girls
Yeah,
still.
we have a WhatsApp thread, and like if I don't look at my phone for an hour, I'll be like 41 messages. What's the? And then it's like the Glow Girls. Somebody saw one of us on TV on something, and then like everybody just like bugs out. Oh my God, what is that? What's that a screen grab from? I want to watch it. And you know, we really love each other.
So what kind of training did you have to go through that? And you had a bunch of wrestlers from like former WWE wrestlers, etc. I know on the show, did they come in and train you? Who trained you for the wrestling parts? Because you were in the ring and you had to run ropes and those kinds of things.
Oh no, we didn't have stunt doubles, so we did all our own stunts. So like running the ropes was like the was awesome, but that was like the least of it. We truly like when you see me pick up Fortune Cookie and body slam her, that is Jackie body slamming Ellen Wong. Like that's happening. Um, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one that blatantly lied about my athletic prowess for the audition or if everybody did. But you know, I was like, yeah, I didn't go crazy about it, but I mean, before Glow, I never so much as like caught a ball, kicked a ball. Like I'm just not. My parents tell this story that when I was a little kid, I was on a soccer team for 45 minutes and I would pick grass while all the kids were running by me. I would pick grass and throw it in the air and then count the blades. All the kids were running by and playing soccer. I mean, I was Pele. Okay, do you hear me? And then I tried out for Glow and I was like, yeah, I've just always sort of been athletic. And then we showed up on that first day of training. And to answer your question, Chavo Guerrero from the great Guerrero family and Shauna Duggan's multi Emmy winning stunt coordinator. She won 2 or 3 times for Glow. So between Shauna really knowing how to handle women and a woman's body, she did. She's been Cameron Diaz's stunt double for her whole career, Jennifer Garner's for her whole career. And so between Chavo, who was soft enough with us but tough enough with us, and Shauna, they just kicked our asses, and we did 4 weeks of wrestling training before every season. And then before we would have a specific match, we would really ramp up the training specifically so we could learn the actual match. So for the 4 weeks prior, we would learn overall and we would like level up every season as our characters were learning. We were learning, which is wild. And then we would level up. So by season, like this year, we were learning like really crazy stuff and I get to do it.
Well, we're still hoping. Let's talk about another role you played, which was Gilda Radner. How did that come about, and what's that experience like playing such an iconic human being?
Well, this is crazy. So Gilda is one of my. I know that she's an icon, but she's one of like my personal idols. Like I am who I am and do what I do mostly because of like Bette Midler, Joan Rivers, and Gilda Radner. I watched them all growing up, and I was like, oh yeah, that. And my mom's just hysterically funny, and I just when I was growing up, I would play the Gilda Radner Best of SNL VHS just over and over and over in my bedroom, and I could do all the characters. So then when the audition came around, the role was actually for Gilda before SNL. But they were like, if you want to do some of her SNL characters just to give us an idea that you can sort of embody her, we'd love to see whatever you want to do. And I just did them all. I just was like, okay, Emily Latella, Rosanna Dana, like let's go. And I was changing costumes. I was doing the whole thing. Never mind. And it turns out I have like a similar speaking voice to her. She just has a real raspy voice, but she's from Detroit. So her voice is sort of in the back of her throat, Gilda Radner. But other than that, she sort of has like a very slight speech impediment, but just I'm Gilda Radner. Like it's just already kind of right there. I guess just Jewiness too. It's just like who we are.
Yeah.
And the audition was incredible, but it could have gone one of two ways. Like if it was it was Allison Jones, who's like one of the most incredible casting directors that ever was. But if it was someone else, they could have been like, "Oh, that girl really came in here and tried too hard." Like I came in super hot. Like I came in with costumes and a guitar and was changing, and I was like putting my head, like it was like not carrot toppy, but I was like putting my hair down and like changing it in between and throwing on shirts. And like I think a different person could have been like, "That was a lot," but Allison was like, "Oh." And then as I was walking out the door, this is the best audition sign ever. As I was opening the door, she said, "Jackie." I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Don't cut your hair." And I just got chills saying that. And I was like, "Okay." And then I left and I called my agent and I was like, "She told me not to cut my hair." What's crazy about that Gilda part is I had nothing going. This was before Glow. And so I had like a really small agent and I didn't really have anything going on. I could like barely get a gig. I was doing like 1 or 2 commercials a year. Like it was really not popping off for me at that time. And the only reason I got seen for Gilda Radner, and this is the God's honest truth, is because they had seen every single other person in the city. The other girl in the waiting room with me was just this like drop dead gorgeous Latina girl. And I was like, "Oh, who are you reading for?" And she was like, Gilda Radner. And I was like, "Oh, like it's literally me and a hot Latina girl are the last 2 people in the city who have not tried out for Gilda Radner." Like it was cuckoo. But then it was me. And then and then that same casting director, her protege, Jen Houston, cast Glow. And that's the magic of Hollywood.
Or the non-magic for people who aren't making it, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's wild because that was me for the first. I got Glow when I was in my mid-30s, and I started acting when I was 9.
Right.
So I know the juju of the people not working way better than I know. Like it's new to me to be like, yeah, on my show. Like that's still those words are weird coming out of my mouth because I was never able to say them until
And that's Juju spelled
27 years into my career.
That's Juju spelled Juju, not Jewjew, right?
No, it's Jew.
Okay. Yeah. So let's stay on that topic. Josh is going to post something for us that we found on your social media. Nope, not that. That's your dog, who's also in your lap.
But he's dressed as Hugh Hefner.
He's dressed as Hugh Hefner.
Hey!
That's from your bat mitzvah.
Everybody dance now. Here is the Tohn. You should stop me. Back with the place. Jam is hot.
I feel like your bat mitzvah
yes, and I don't waste time. Just kidding.
I feel like your bat mitzvah was awesome, and this is just a clip of that, right?
You're right. This is you're correct. So I've obviously always been a weirdo, and my mom actually, it was her idea for me to wear the tuxedo. I didn't know what to wear, and she was like, "You know, it'd be really cute. Just like we rented a tux from Oceanside Tuxedo with a fuchsia cummerbund and bow tie with matching cufflinks from Oceanside Tux."
And so, what was there a theme to your bat mitzvah?
What a trick question. Hollywood, baby. Okay. Hollywood, baby. The tables were like cinematography. Glenn, stop. God, he's really on one. Sorry, guys. Then I forget what the dais. Oh, the dais probably was the cast, right?
I actually went to a bar mitzvah in LA when I was a kid for my cousin, and he had the same theme. And the kids got Oscars with the Jewish star on them as they left.
Stop.
I think we still have it somewhere.
We didn't, that trophy money is real. We did not splurge like that in the Tohn house. We had like my agent at the time make party favors, which were like I've been an actor for 30 years. How do I not know what that's called? The slate. Thank you. Yeah. Where the slate was like a pencil case. And she made my my party favors.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I want to stay on the Jewish topic for a little bit because I know there was a Seder that happened on the set of Glow. How did that come about? And I heard it was very unique and cool.
This is wild. So Jenny, so Ellen Wong, who plays Jenny Che, Melrose and Jenny are best friends, and I play Melrose. Melrose and Jenny are best friends on the show, and Ellen is married to a Jewish guy. And she and I were talking about, we were at a Seder, and we were talking about inherited trauma because I am the granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, and she is the child of Cambodian genocide survivors. And the two of us couldn't, she's from Toronto, she's Cambodian, I'm a Jew from New York. We could not be more different. And we start having this conversation about what it's like and my parents' survivor guilt and her parents' survivor guilt. And they ended up writing it in of chills. They ended up writing the Seder scene into Glow. And it was like a super friendship deepening thing, certainly for all of us in real life, but for our characters, because Melrose's was a little big mouth, a little ignorant, making sort of Chinese jokes and just being an idiot. And then she finally realizes where Jenny was actually comes from. And then the two of them realize, oh, whoa, we really have an amazing amount in common. And when I was reading the script, I couldn't even get through it, but Melrose talks about her family members that were exterminated in, I don't think it was Auschwitz. It was, anyway, sorry, we got to play. But I asked them if I could change the dialogue to represent my family. And my great aunt Pessel, which was my grandma's sister, who stayed in Poland and didn't run because she was too young, and she and my grandma's parents were all killed. So I changed the dialogue to my great aunt Pessel and was able to honor my great aunt through dialogue on a TV show. Just bonkers.
It's amazing. And I don't think there's like a lot of Alison Brie also, I believe, is Jewish, but were there other cast members? Mark Maron.
I did WTF, and it was the Jewy. I mean, it was Jewier than this, and I'm talking to a rabbi. It was like we literally were singing a Don Olam in the middle of the episode. I was like, the wheels are off, Baruch Hashem, baby. Like, it was legit Jewy. It was great. It was so fun. But anyway, yeah, Maron's Jewish, Allie's Jewish. I think that's it. Am I missing anyone? No, I think that's it.
All right. So I know we want to also talk about your new show coming up called Leftovers on Netflix.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about
Leftovers ever.
Best Leftovers ever. Tell us all about it.
Okay. So I am hosting and judging a new cooking reality competition series called Best Leftovers Ever on Netflix, where we have amateur chefs, some of them are amazing, home cooks come and turn leftovers into high-end cuisine. So in round one, they have fridges behind them, and we say, like, hey, it was the Super Bowl yesterday, so you've got a 7-layer dip, and you've got like these certain, it's sort of like Chopped meets Nailed It, where it's like you've got these certain ingredients in your fridge that are leftovers, and you need to take those Super Bowl leftovers and turn them into a flavor bomb breakfast. That'll be round one. And then round two, my fridge comes out. My fridge is a character on the show. And so my fridge comes out, and it's whatever my leftovers were from the night before. So it'd be basically takeout. So we did Chinese, Italian, French, Mexican, Greek. And so we say, you've got to take basically this Chinese food doused in sauces, and you need to turn it into a high-end cuisine of a different ethnic, it doesn't have to be a different ethnic food, but you can't turn Chinese food into Chinese food. Yeah. You can't turn Italian into Italian. So you had to completely change it up. So we had people turning French burger and fries into potato gnocchi with bolognese. I mean, people were incredibly, incredibly creative. It's an amazing show. It's so fun.
Was this your first time hosting a show, and what was that experience like?
It wasn't my first time hosting anything, but it was my first time hosting a TV show, and it was incredible. I mean, it was like putting on a comfy pair of shoes. It just was like, this thing I've always wanted to do, always been a dream of mine. Again, I was saying I have 4 skills. It's one of the like just talking to people, kibitzing with people, treating everybody like they're my best friend. That's been both a blessing and a curse in my life because, I not necessarily a curse, but I get so friendly with people so quickly. And sometimes I'm like, oh boy, now you're overstepping, but this is my fault because I started it. But the point is, it's just fun. It's something I've always wanted to do, and without being too crunchy, like I feel meant to do it. I don't feel
When
meant to do too many things. Hosting is one of them.
when can
Kibitzing
we
with people is one of them.
when can we see it?
December 30th, all episodes streaming on Netflix.
Super excited. Definitely check that out. It's something to do over winter break with my kids. Can kids watch it? Is it?
Oh, it's super duper duper kid friendly.
All right, good. Good.
It's super kid friendly. It's super adult friendly. It's a wild time. I mean, it's a wacky show. Like it, yeah, it's me. It's me. That's for sure. So it's really fun. I loved it. I can't wait to see. I haven't seen it, so I can't wait to see it.
All right. Well, we're excited. Jackie, thank you so much for being
Oh, my pleasure.
so easy to talk to you and so natural. And
Thanks, everybody.
come visit us in Minnesota anytime.
Oh my goodness, let this pandemic end so I can come to Minnesota and party in the shul.
That's right.
And everybody find me on, here's Glenn again. Find me on Instagram and send me messages and stuff. I write everybody back, want to talk to everybody. See, this is the exact problem I was just explaining. Okay, I love you guys.
Bye, Jackie. Thank you.